Okay, my good friends, it's Roger once again, and you know where from, a Mudfossil University, no longer a disgraced word. Now, this is just, it's slaughtering the internet now with all the giants that we know existed, and now they're starting to be able to sort of just work their way around. There's no words on this, and I don't know if they understand what they're looking at, but I do. Now, this is called White Pocket Vermilion Cliffs National Monument, Arizona, USA, 4K ultra high def, and this is by Amazing Places on Our Planet, which I'm going to comment on. I hope they'll go back to me, because if they want to look at amazing places, I got some. Now, and this is amazing, and how anybody could miss the biology here is almost impossible. That is membrane tissue, and the red is bloody stuff. This is all patterned of, it's either, well, I'm not sure what it is, but I'm not sure what kind of creature it is, but I can tell you what is biological. I mean, I don't know how anybody could miss that and just say, oh, that just accidentally happened. Not only that, the stuff that Tyson has, I mean, seriously, it's time to step up, because their silence is an absolute admission of their wrong. Now, so we have absolutely won, but I would love to see everybody else be able to speak about this in the realm of reality. But as far as academia, their silence is an admission of guilt. Case closed. All right, you saw that stuff on this state park. What you're looking at here is a bilipid layer. That means there's a layer here of tissue and then a layer down here, and between it is this aqueous, gooey stuff where the molecules transfer back and forth through to tissues on this side and tissues on this side. These are the holes that the molecules transfer through. This is a membrane, and I'm not sure what kind of membrane it is, but I'm going to just play this for a second, you'll see. Now, for anybody to dismiss this and say that, oh, that's just lava, it's insanity. Look at this. These are, and Tyson and I have done the biological research on this, no question whatsoever what it is. And the academic response is like, it's lava. That's what they say, oh, it's just lava, and then they walk away.
Everything's still in it, everything's not baked out of it yet.
This is, oh, there's Lucy.
This whole pattern runs up underneath there. It's all biological. Oh,
100% cool. I mean, how could you miss this? Now, the only way to miss this is to either be so incompetent that biology has no place in your life, and you never want to open a book that refers to actual pictures of biology, or you just want to dismiss it because it interferes with your life. I mean, come on. Come on, that's not from volcano. And how did they make another layer 6 feet above it? And it's 6 feet thick, this this bilipid layer. And in us, well, I'll show you. There's another one somewhere else. Check this out. You see, I'm telling you, the whole world's like this. There's no question about it. All right, this is the bilipid membrane. You saw those holes going through all of the different little bumps and patterns that were on the top. It's identical, no question whatsoever what it is. That's the top layer, that's the bottom layer, and in between is this aqueous sort of gooey solution that is less stable than these layers. Let's just go with that. Now, let me show you something else. Well, Roger, if there was giant creatures, you would expect there'd be giant hair. Well, maybe there is. Crowley Lake. Well, let's see what they have to say. Ooh, mystery of Crowley Lake column solved. Let's see what they have to say about this. Well, let's see. These amazing formations, helical columns, are found on the shores. The stone columns, up to 20 feet tall, connected high arches of ancient, more like part of an ancient Moorish temple. They had been buried for eons and well, where do you hear this? The mystery of Crowley Lake columns solved. I've been sending these same people the stuff over and over. Well, they're PhDs, so they don't have to pay attention to me. These are, guess what these are from? That's a volcano. Listen to this. This is unbelievable. Where did we get these people? These columns are spectacular products of a natural experiment in the physics of hydrothermal convection. Noah Randolph Flagg, 25, PhD candidate and lead author of the study, said in an interview. The blast, 2,000 times larger, 1980 eruption of Mount St. Helens, created the Long Valley Caldera, a massive 10 by 2 mile sink that includes the Mammoth Lakes area. It also covered much of the eastern Sierra Nevada range with a coarse volcanic tuft or ashfall. It's actually skin, my friends, which is basically kaolin clays. Randolph Flagg said researchers not only discovered the origin of the columns, but also learned a great deal about the surrounding landscape. They have a lot to tell us about what the region was like before and after the caldera exploded, and about how volcanoes can change local climate, he said. Can you imagine? Can you literally imagine them saying this? Columns began forming as snow melt seeped into the still hot tuft. The water boiled, creating evenly spaced convection cells. I can't go on. I just can't go on. Yeah, it makes sense to me. Oh my God. All right, I confronted them. Nobody ever answers, or nobody ever. Look at this. Wait till you see this. This goes back a couple years.
Roger, once again, Mudfossil University.
I'm just going to
today
play
with
it.
an explosive story, and it relates to Crowley Lake, which has these columns. And I say these columns are not some percolated sediments that they claim from volcanic activity, that these are actually hairs, and they are gigantic hairs. And when you laugh, before you do, I want to show you this. All right, this is Morocco right here. This right
Here comes the dragon again.
Atlas Mountains, Atlantis, Atlas Mountains, the whole range.
Oh, they can dismiss that forever. I have no clue.
Dragon. All right, and this is enormous. It is 900 miles long. That is the dragon's face. That's that little funny nose that they have. This is the little fluty stuff that goes down in the dragon's body. And you can follow his body right here. And this is his throat that comes down, and that is a continuous throat.
I got to tell you something, my friends. I am going to have a blast with this now, because this is so obvious how much dismissals we have been led. Look at this. That sounded the dragon spit all over that fish underneath. All right, now here, let's go up to a Crowley Lake again. These, how did these things come up? Oh man, I'm telling you, it's unbelievable the world that we live. Absolutely
Sweat glands, and I could not find any sweat
freaking
glands.
believable.
All right, this is what hairs look like. This is how they separate. And this is kaolin clay, which is the fine, powdery, slippery clay that they make fine china out of, and it is skin. And this one here is from a different colored person, but the other one is from a white person. There's dark skin, there's red, and there's, I'll show you. Okay, this is kaolin clay. Those are the colors of skin. That's the colors of people. And they, of course, a little darker, a little lighter, and so forth. Now, I discovered Mudfossil. I was the one who discovered him, 2012. I'm sure other people knew about him, but nobody's ever taken it to the extreme that I did. And I got DNA tests and CAT scans and anatomists, and I had everything done, and no one paid attention. So it's all completely certified.
You see, this is years ago, and it just was years before that. I've been so freaking frustrated that now I'm just done. I don't care anymore. I'm just going to have a blast with this, because I have shamed the ones that needed to be shamed. It's all over for y'all.
Certified. And now there's going to be a little bit of an issue about academia if they don't pay attention to this, because they are supposed to be fiduciaries.
A little issue.
Now, you see that? That is one of those nasty hairs that you have, black ones or something. All the rest of them have eroded back here. That is people have those different types of hairs. And what has happened is the water has eroded up underneath and torn away. This is a very, very loose skin. It's skin. It moves. It's clay. It's this dusty stuff. And once it dries out, you know how your skin falls off. That's what happens. That's what happened here. Above is the stubble, and here is the red and black clay, red and black of the artery and vein blood. I'll show you that. All right, you're going to see this red and this black. That's the vein and artery blood, and it bathes the lower end of these roots that are down in the depth of the skin. And I'll show you the anatomical.
By the way, I want to tell you something. This, if you use castor oil, now I don't know if you put it on your skin, it's the best way, or if you just ingest it, but it absolutely changes the characteristic of the roots, and the hair color comes back. In a lot of cases, the hair color will come back pretty good. Anyway, that's just a little extra bit of mud fossil knowledge.
Detail. All right, this is from a pinker skinned person, but it's that's the hair and that's the kaolin clay. This is one of the weirdest ones. You see this? This is hair. These are hairs. And that is a mole. You see that cornified looking skin? That is a mole. It still has the blood colors in there, but it's either a mole or a wart or something like that, which has not allowed the hairs to erode. It changed. It's strengthened them. The other ones eroded and were just torn away and fell apart.
Here, I ramble on. I'm just going to just jump ahead here and there. This is the where hairs grow through, and the sweat glands are underneath and so forth. And here's what we see on the surface of the earth.
Let's go look at something else. All right, look carefully. We can see the vein and the artery down here coming in. That's the guy's hand.
And this is skin.
Here's the laminations of the hair. This is the red and the black of what we see on Crowley Lake. As it erodes, this stuff erodes away. You see this reddish and this black that is adhering to the hair. And this one here hasn't eroded. They dug it down, but this is the.
I do really ramble on, don't I? There's a hair.
The sweat gland. Here's some more sweat glands.
There's
a ton of them in man.
And they say these are animal burrows.
Animals. Now, what we're looking at Crowley Lake, I don't think is a mammal. I couldn't find any sweat glands. Okay, this is what we would normally see. This is sweat glands and then the hair root coming down.
Did you hear what I just said? At the Crowley Lake, you don't see the sweat glands. Now, I don't know, there are other animals that don't have sweat glands, but humans do.
True. At Crowley Lake, I think we're seeing right about to this level, somewhere in here. Maybe not even, maybe up here. There may even be sweat glands below. I don't know. We may only be in this area because it was a very large creature. That's all I can say. We may only be into this level, and there may be sweat glands. I don't know, but I can't find any. I do see the variegation, separation of the hairs, which looks exactly like a human's hair would separate and erode. And I think that is your obligation to honor that prerogative. And you are legally bound to honor that.
Oh, here I go rambling on about do your job, you losers. And they still haven't. They're never going to. They're never going to step up. Academia. They will never look fiduciary criminal offense. Because they can be prosecuted for criminal prosecutions, federal offense. And I'm telling you, peer review looks to me like racketeering. So I went on about this again. I can't help myself. This is years ago. This is never going to change, ever, until people stand up. You have to confront your professors. Say, look at this. Tell me what. And then if they say, I won't look at it, they are a criminal. They're literally a criminal. They have to put your best interests ahead of theirs. And to not look at it, and this is what's happening right now in virtually every single university. And every single school, as far as I can tell, I haven't had one PhD that is willing to look at this stuff to discuss it at all. They say, here's what it is, we figured it all out, and then they just go about their way. And then everybody has to say, I agree with you, or they will fail you in their classes, because these are the people that are teaching us. Very, very wrong a situation right now. Extremely wrong. Not a single thing is right at this moment. I love you all.